Oh, hello. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, seasons, felicitations, and wipe your feet.
My friends have something very special for you.
We're not going to open it before Christmas.
It's the world's biggest Christmas card.
Oh, but sweetheart.
Classic Christmas Radio Theater.
God bless us, everyone.
Yes, tiny Tim. God bless us, everyone.
Featuring some of the greatest Christmas radio shows of all time.
Attaboy, Clarence. Attaboy.
And now here's your host and my biggest elf, Wyatt Cox.
Well, as one would expect when listening to an episode of the George Burns and Gracie Allen show, Gracie has committed a grievous error. We'll hear about that in this episode of the George Burns Gracie Allen program for Hormel and Spam, as it was originally broadcast 81 years ago today, and that would be a Monday, December 23rd, 1940. Here's some of the stories in the newspapers of the day. Taking advantage of the longest night of the year, Saturday night and Sunday morning, Britain's hard-fighting RAF sent its bombers winging far and wide to strike at enemy points in Germany, Italy, France, Belgium, Holland, and Norway. The list of the blasted bases, industrial centers, and ports read like a roll call of Axis strongholds in the 6 countries. Usually reliable quarters said that Secretary of State Cordell Hull had chosen R. Henry Norweb, the ace career diplomat, for the key post of ambassador to Mexico when Josephus Daniels formally retires. Daniels has indicated a desire to return to private life to devote himself to writing. Georgia highway patrolmen, Tennessee law enforcement officers, and volunteers switching their search for Charles Coates, wounded killer of a Georgia highway patrolman, to the hills 10 miles north of Decatur, Tennessee. And the Justice Department reported yesterday of 1,555 beneficiaries of executive clemency in the first 6 years and 3 months of the Roosevelt administration. Only 87, or 5.59%, had subsequent criminal records. Those some of the day's top news stories of Monday, December 23rd, 1940, and on your radio, George Burns and Gracie Allen for Spam, and that'll be next on Classic Christmas Radio Theater. It would be another year before George and Gracie would admit on their radio program that they were actually married, and the show would transition from a radio program about a radio program to a traditional situation comedy. Because the ratings weren't diving, but they were sliding ever so slightly. And George said, look, we're too old for these jokes. So, in this edition of the George Burns Gracie Allen show from December 23rd, 1940, we hear the original Burns and Allen show, and probably have a good example as to what their vaudeville act might have been like all those many years ago.
From Hollywood, the George Burns and Gracie Allen Show for Hormel and Spam. George and Gracie. Spam, oh boy. Spam, what joy. George Burns and Gracie Allen on the show and his orchestra for singing glee with the Smoothies 3. Last but not least, with Bud Hastings. Time for Burns and Allen at your house. And say, have last-minute Christmas chores got you in a whirl? Now look, Mother, even though you don't get home until just before supper time, here's the quick, easy way to give your family swell food that satisfies husky appetites. Serve baked Spam, S-P-A-M. And baking is easy when you serve Spam. All you do is open a can of Spam, stud it with cloves, and slip it into the oven. The easy recipe is right on the label. In just a few minutes, you'll have a delicious main course. Spam is tender, juicy meat with extra goodness and flavor because Spam is a perfect combination of pork shoulder meat and ham meat. Tired appetites perk up with Spam on the table, and tired mothers like it because Spam is so easy to serve. Tomorrow, be sure your shopping list includes SPAM Spam. And here they are, your two favorite Spam stars, George and Gracie.
Thank you very much.
Say, George, I saw Artie Shaw's picture second chorus at the Paramount last night. He was great.
Really?
Fred Astaire was swell.
Well.
And Paulette Goddard was grand. And can that Bud Heaston make love?
Wait a minute. Bud Heaston wasn't in the picture.
Well, he was sitting next to me, if you know what I mean.
So you were at the Paramount last night, too, huh, Bud?
Yes.
How did you like it?
Oh, swell. Next week I'm going back to see the picture.
Gracie, how was Artie Shaw as an actor?
Well, he had plenty of trouble with his lines. Every time he opened his mouth, he stuck his clarinet in it.
Some lover, that Shaw. I'll bet every time he threw a kiss, Paulette got it.
Oh, well, no.
Got it?
Well,
Good stuff.
Judge, I was only fooling. Artie
Paulette
was
got
great.
it. That was a beauty.
Yeah. Oh, dear. There was Artie with his arms around Paulette Goddard, and Paulette was looking into his eyes, and Artie looked into Paulette's eyes, and then Fred Astaire kissed her, and then...
Gracie, how did Fred Astaire get into this?
Well, he's very fast on his feet, if you know what I mean.
Well, I'm not bad either.
No?
You know, in vaudeville, I used to be Goldie of Goldie Fields and Glide.
No.
So what?
Really?
And you could tell by that Goddard line that I did the comedy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'll show you something right now. You know how Fred Astaire jumps up in the air and clicks his heels 3 times?
How many times?
3 times.
Yeah?
Yeah. Well, I can jump up in the air and click my heels 4 times. Okay, watch. Well, how do you like it, Gracie?
Oh, swell. You can come down now.
Well, anyway, Artie, we've done a lot of kidding, but I hear that you're really great in the picture.
Well, thanks a lot, George.
I understand you play a romantic kid.
Nah, George, those love scenes aren't all they're cracked up to be. For example, that scene at the breakfast table where I'm reading a newspaper and Paulette Goddard comes in and kisses me. Every time we did the scene, something went wrong. You know, she kissed me 52 times. Boy, that was awful.
Awful? What was awful about that?
I never got a chance to read Little Abner.
Kissed him 52 times. Should happen to me.
You know, Artie, George, and I danced in a picture with Fred Astaire. That's what gave Fred Astaire a start.
It's kind of a hard line to get out.
Yeah.
Start. Fred Astaire.
Yeah.
Oh, you're
really kidding.
That's your line, Artie.
No, really. When he saw George dance, it gave him an awful start.
Well, we got 2 laughs before that,
Yeah.
Well, let's continue from there. Where are we?
Yo también vi esa película, esa señorita Paulette Goddard.
Well, there goes Senor Lee.
Muy bueno.
You said something funny, huh? Well, there goes the guitar player interrupting again.
Hey, Senor Shaw. Hey, Artie. Hey, boss. Hey, lover.
What is it, Senor Lee?
You in the picture with Fred Astaire? That's a strange coincidence.
Senor Lee, you said that wrong.
Perdóname. Senor Shaw, you being in the same picture with Fred Astaire is a strange coincidence.
Well, that sort of finishes up Artie Shaw's new picture, second chorus. And Artie, you noticed I mentioned it 3 times. Is that enough?
Yeah, and someday I'll write a little song about Spam.
Well, thanks, kid.
Gee, that'll be swell, Artie. Spam's bound to become #1 on the Eat Parade.
On the Eat Parade. Well, now let's start our play. Gracie, give out the scripts. Okay, Bud, take it.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you remember, last week we did a play, and we left off with George, Artie, and myself in jail about to be hanged, and Gracie on the way to the governor to try and save our lives. Lights, curtain, music.
Gracie, where are the scripts?
The scripts?
Yeah, the scripts for the play.
Oh, the radio scripts.
Yeah, the radio scripts. I gave them to you this morning. Where are they?
You want to talk about my brother?
Who's interested in your brother?
The woman across the street.
Well, who cares?
Her husband.
Gracie, we were having lunch at the Brown Derby, and I gave you a package. Where are the scripts?
Oh, the scripts. Oh, let me see now. No, don't tell me. I left the Brown Derby, and I went into that drugstore, and I put a nickel in the phonograph and played Beat Me Daddy 6 to the bar.
6 to the bar?
Yeah, it was a cut-rate drugstore. And then I changed a dime and weighed myself, and I had 9 pennies left, so I weighed myself 9 more times. And
Gracie, the audience is waiting.
Yeah,
Where are the scripts?
Please. Then I left for the May department store, and I crossed the park, and there was a man surrounded by a lot of pigeons feeding them peanuts. And he said, Miss, how would you like to try this? And I did. I ate about 2 bags of peanuts. And
Artie, will you play a number while Gracie tries to figure out where she left the scripts?
And then the pigeons flew away, and I said goodbye to Mr. Reuter.
To Mr. Reuter.
Now, let me see. Where did I leave the script?
Yeah, the scripts.
Oh, I was on my way to the May Company, and I stopped to buy a ticket for the Rose Bowl game. The man said, would you like to sit on the 50-yard line? And I said, no, the chalk would ruin my dress. And then...
Gracie, we've got to do a show.
Oh, please. And then the man said the tickets for the Rose Bowl were $1 apiece. And
$1 apiece?
Oh, of course, it was a very small piece. Now, if I can get $200 more, I can buy the rest of the ticket. And then...
Gracie, try to remember what you did with the package. The scripts are in it. We're supposed to do a play.
Señor Shaw, ¿por qué todas las noches tenemos que tocar frenesí? Ya estoy cansado de tocar la misma
Tú
cosa.
vas a hacer lo que yo digo. Yo soy el jeep aquí.
What's going on here? Artie, what's your guitar player saying?
What's he saying? I'm having enough trouble trying to figure out what I'm saying.
What's the argument about, Senor Lee?
I do not like the number frenesí we just played. Every night we play it at the Pandemonium Ballroom.
Pandemonium?
Sí.
It's Palladium. Oh. Pandemonium is a lot of noise and confusion.
He swing and sway with Sammy Kaye?
Artie, why do you take it from that musician?
He's got a diploma from Casaloma.
Say, that's cute.
Hey, George.
What?
Try Spam and Chili with Rudy Villi.
You guys keep it up. Just keep it up and you'll be hitting the road with Papa Jode.
Oh, see now. So I finally got to the May Company.
Oh, you finally got to the May Company.
Yeah,
yes.
And I went to the men's department, and I said, I'd like to get a shirt for George, and the man said 34 sleeves, and I said, no, 2 will be enough.
Gracie, when you got through shopping all day, what did you do with the packages?
The packages. Oh, those were all Christmas presents. I took them all down to the post office and mailed them.
To the post office?
Yes.
Well, you must have mailed the scripts with the rest of the packages.
Oh, well, let's go down and look for them.
Well, certainly.
Well, they'll be easy to find on account of all my packages are addressed direct to the exchange department of the May Company.
You addressed all your gifts to the exchange department?
Well, yeah, that'll save my friends a lot of trouble after Christmas.
Well, come on, everybody. You better come with me to the post office and help me find the scripts.
I'll help.
I'll help.
I'll help.
Mr. Burns, I refuse to help.
Who are you?
Just a rugged individualist.
Everything happens to me. Well, come on, everybody. Let's go.
Oh, well, George, I got it.
The scripts.
No. Let's tear a herring with old Fred Waring.
Oh, come on. Hey, 4 years in Harvard. Open the door. Hey, soundman. I'm talking to you. Why don't you pay attention to your work?
Mr. Burns, that is what I've been doing all my life. 4 years I went to Harvard, studied diligently and never missed a lecture. The notes I made are used today as a model by the students at Harvard. Alongside me sat a student who never paid attention to anything. Instead of taking down notes, he wrote childish jingles on the margin of his notebook. Today, that man gets $50,000 a year writing those Burma shave signs, and this is what I do for a living.
This is no time of the year to be sad. Christmas is in the air. Think of Santa Claus.
Poor Santa Claus reminds me of myself. Works hard all year and winds up holding the bag.
come on, everybody. Let's get to the post office. I've got to find those scripts.
Hours to get in this place, about 2 hours.
Oh, well. Here we are at the post office.
Boy, look at this crowd.
Now, Gracie, at what window did you mail the packages?
Oh, let me see now. Well, look for a handsome clerk with blue eyes, blonde mustache, and striped lipstick. He's got a sort of
a striped lipstick?
Well, yes. That's an account of I kissed him through the bars.
Well, let's stand at the end of this line.
Don't push. Don't push.
Don't push! Don't push!
Don't push. Don't push.
Who's pushing?
Who's pushing?
Who's pushing?
Who's pushing? Who's pushing?
Well, we'll never get to that window. I had to give you the scripts.
Say, George, I know how to get in front of this line.
With all these men?
Well, yeah.
Never.
Well, just watch me. Look, here comes Teddy Lamar.
Next. Who's first in line?
I am.
Oh, what a day. Have we been rushed? Do you know, miss, that today I sold 1,001 cent stamps?
Well, if I were you, I'd sell 3-cent stamps.
Why?
Well, you meet a better class of people.
Oh, have I been busy? I've been standing on my feet since 7 o'clock this morning.
Oh, you must be tired. Why don't you let me stand on them for a while?
Gracie, ask her about the package.
What?
Ask her about the package.
Ask her about what?
The package. The package. The package. The package. The package. The package. Thanks for your help.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Hey, George, when you get down to the window, will you mail this Christmas gift for me?
Sure, if I ever get down there. Well, look, it's for me. Artie, what are you sending me?
It's a lounging robe.
That's funny. Last Christmas, I sent you a lounging robe.
Well, it's the same loungy robe.
Well, thanks, kid.
And you know what I want this Christmas?
Now what?
A great big sailboat.
Well, in this weather, you can use it.
Senor Burns, will you please mail this package of dishes for me? But be careful with it. It's high-class crookery.
Crookery? You mean crockery. Crookery means that you stole it.
The man in back of me in the blue uniform is a sailor?
Gracie, find out about the scripts. Gracie, wait a minute. Gracie, what are you doing behind the window?
Well, I'm taking the girl's place. She went out to look for the package. Oh, George, aren't people silly? You ought to read some of the letters they send. Oh, dear. Listen to this one. Dear Santa Claus, please send us a man for Christmas. And if you can't find one, please come yourself. Signed, Brenda and Cabina.
Gracie, you mean you're opening the mail?
Yeah, isn't it fun? I'm so glad I took a place.
You know, you can be held for a thing like that.
Well, who do you think the man with his arms around me is, a sailor? Ooh, by the way, it is.
Gracie, the package, we've got
Oh, look, isn't this a sad letter? Dear Santa Claus, we've been waiting for you for a long, long time, but you never come to visit us. If you don't come this year, what will I tell the children? Signed, Mrs. Santa Claus.
Gracie, you've got to find the script.
When unexpected guests come knocking at your door like this, do you get into a twizzy, catch your breath, and say, oh, what shall I feed the bunch? Now look, if you keep Spam on your pantry shelf, this will happen when folks start knocking. You'll go right to the door, open it up, and say, come on in. You'll never worry about each. You'll have plenty of time to visit because you'll ask to be excused and go out into the kitchen like this. Then you'll open a can of Spam, cut off slices, and place on toast. Then you'll put on a slice of tomato, pickle, or Bermuda onion and cover with thin slices of cheese. Pop that into the oven until the cheese melts, and there you have a hot Spamwich. A one-plate meal that's sure to make a hit. Bring those hot Spamwiches out of the kitchen like this, and your guests will all say, yum, yum.
Yum, yum. Yum, yum. Yum, yum. Yum, yum. Yum, yum.
The meaty flavor, the taste-tempting goodness of Spam is something folks really get hungry for. When friends drop in this holiday season, serve them a hot Spamwich. Or serve Spam cold, or fried, or baked. The easy recipes are right on the label. Fussy appetites like Spam because it's different. A perfect combination of sweet, juicy pork shoulder meat and tender, tasty ham meat. That's why Spam has extra goodness, extra flavor. To be sure of getting the real thing, always look for this sentence on the Spam label, pork shoulder meat with ham meat added. Tomorrow, say to your food dealer, I want Spam. You can serve it dozens of ways. Isn't that right, Smoothies?
Slice it, dice it, fry it, bake it, cold or hot, Spam hits the spot.
Gracie, get away from that window. We've got...
Hey, you stop pushing!
Stop pushing! Stop pushing! Stop pushing! Wait a minute! Wait a minute! We did that.
We did that.
We did that. We did that. We did. Quiet. Quiet.
Well, who's next?
Gracie, will you come out from behind that stamp window? We've got to find the script.
Say, sourpuss, get back in line. Miss, can I have a 1-cent stamp?
Well, we've got a 1-cent stamp if you really want it. But if I were you, I'd take one of our 6-cent stamps. They're a little more expensive, but they'll last longer. And they're washable. And besides that, they look very pretty on your tongue.
Miss, I'd like a 1-cent stamp. The one that has Lincoln's picture on it.
Oh, which Lincoln do you mean? Henry Fonda or Walt Houston?
Never mind. Next time I'll go by train.
Well, isn't that a silly man? Next.
George Burns and Gracie Allen from December 23rd, 1940. Boy, if she was that way in real life, wouldn't it be crazy? We'll have the conclusion coming up next. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Wyatt Cox, and this is Classic Christmas Radio Theater.
Here's a great thing to consider doing right now before the end of the year. Call Medishare and find out just how much you would save by switching to Medishare, the affordable alternative to health insurance. When you call, you'll get some good news and probably be very happily surprised, too. The typical family saves $500 a month, but you might save even more. It's so worth it to at least find out. And you'll see why more than 400,000 people are already members. Medishare is a Christian community that's shared more than $4 billion in each other's healthcare costs. It really is remarkable, and they're very easy to talk to. And here's the thing. If you join before the end of the year, they'll waive your new member fee. That's another $170 you'll save. I'll give you the number here in a second. The call, and you'll get a price within 2 minutes. And again, the deadline is December 31st, so call now. You'll save even more. Call 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34-BIBLE. 833-34-BIBLE.
And on Classic Christmas Radio Theater, we're listening to George Burns and Gracie Allen for Spam from December 23rd, 1940. I've got to tell you that in flipping through a newspaper, in fact, it is the St. Petersburg, Florida Times, there was an ad indicating that the Hormel men's and girls are being welcomed in every part of the city. And here's the deal. They approach hundreds of people every day with the question, how do you like Spam and Hormel chili con carne? If you can show us evidence you've used either one of these two fine products, we'll pay you $1 for your opinion. If you can produce evidence of having used both products, we pay you $2. And this was a huge ad talking about people by name in St. Petersburg, Florida, and the Tampa Bay area. And that shows you what some companies did back in the day. You know, not just radio, but they did stunts. And those stunts could get crazy at times. Speaking of getting crazy, we'll get back to George Burns and Gracie Allen from 81 years ago, December 23rd, 1940, in 2 minutes, right here on Classic Christmas Radio Theater. As it was broadcast on NBC, December 23rd, 1940, George Burns and Gracie Allen, the conclusion now on Classic Christmas Radio Theater.
And what can I do for you, sir?
Remember me, I'm George Burns.
George Burns? Oh, weren't you in vaudeville?
Yeah, played together at the DeKalb in Brooklyn.
Well, didn't you work with a very beautiful girl?
Yes, and that happens to be you.
Oh, well, imagine running into me. It certainly is a small world.
Gracie, what about the script?
Hey, miss,
Come out
get back in line.
Oh, what can I do for you, madam?
I hope I'm not too late, miss. Can I catch the China Clipper?
Well, you might be able to if you put another feather in your hat.
Look, Gracie, what about the scripts? Will you come
Get back in line.
Listen here.
Get back in line.
Well...
Look, miss, I've been writing with one of your pens, and I've got a handful of ink.
A handful of ink? Well, thanks for telling me. You may keep it for your honesty.
Gracie, what about the scripts?
Get back in line.
Look, I'm not getting back in line.
Attaboy, George.
You stay out of this.
Anybody that talks that way to George Burns gets a punch in the nose.
You know who I am?
No, who are you?
I'm the vice president of the Hormel Company, makers of Spam.
You know who I am?
No.
Thank goodness.
Say, I better get back in line.
Senor Burns, will you mail this package to my brother? It's a pair of sealskin gloves.
It's not steel skin. It's not steel, it's seal.
Steel.
No, seal. Look, what has a flat head, small eyes, a mustache, and a beautiful fur coat?
My brother's wife.
Look, senor, I've got my own troubles, Gracie. We've got to find our scripts.
Hey, George, I got it.
The scripts?
No. Let's have Spamwiches and tea with Fibber McGee.
Oh, go away.
George, how'd you make out?
Well, I certainly got a lot of help out of you, Artie. Where have you been?
What a madhouse this post office is. I sat down at that long table over there, and before I knew it, I was weighed, stamped, and airmailed special to Pomona.
Now, look, I've got to do something.
Well, George, your troubles are over. Here comes the superintendent, and he's got my package under his arm.
Oh, no. Before I give it to you, miss, you'll have to answer a few questions. Now, what's your name?
Gracie T. Allen.
What are all those T's for?
Well, when my daddy first saw me, he said...
Look, mister, can we have the package now?
Just a moment now. Miss, can you identify yourself?
Oh, certainly. Where's my handbag?
Right here, Gracie.
Oh, wait till I look in the mirror. Yeah, that's me.
I can't stand it. This is awful.
Well, never mind. Here's your package.
Well, thanks. Come on. Great. I've got the scripts. Come on, everybody. We've got to get out of here. Ouch! 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 Well, come on. Let's get back to the studio. Hey, taxi!
And so tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we bring you the second episode of Gracie Allen's dynamic play. As you remember last week, George, Bud, and Artie were in the jail, sentenced to be hanged. And Gracie was on her way back from the governor's offices, where she'd been making a plea for their lives. The scene opens with the boys anxiously pacing their cell as Gracie arrives.
Well, this is simply awful. Oh, she's been away for hours.
Never get over it. It's terrible.
Oh, boys, I've got some terrible news for you.
You mean we're going to the gas chamber?
Worse than that.
We're going to be hanged?
Worse than that.
Electrocuted?
No, worse than that.
Well, what can be worse than that?
I left the scripts in the taxi.
Oh.
Every day, more and more families discover that Spam solves mealtime problems quickly. Originated by Hormel, Spam has become the most popular meat item brought out in a generation. Spam is tender, juicy meat with a taste and a flavor all its own. Fry golden brown slices for breakfast. Serve Spam cold for lunch, just as it comes from the can. To bake Spam for dinner. Look for the easy recipes on the label. If you haven't yet tried Spam, now's the time. You're really missing something extra good. Tomorrow, ask your food dealer for SPAM Spam.
Thanks, Bud. Well, Gracie, say goodnight.
Well, good night. Say, George, I just thought of a riddle.
Riddle? What is it?
What did the governor of North Carolina say to the governor of South Carolina?
What did he say?
Merry Christmas.
Good night, all.
George Burns and Gracie Allen, as originally broadcast 81 years ago today, December 23rd, 1940. Let's go back a year earlier to December 21st, 1939. A program produced by CBS Radio and a visit from St. Nick, a dramatization of that famous Christmas poem, A Visit from St. Nicholas.
The Columbia Broadcasting System brings you a radio dramatization of the famous Christmas poem, The Visit of St. Nick by Clement C. Moore.
Yeah, now, Sally Ann. You're all tucked in. You all right, Teddy?
Yes, Mother. I'm too excited to sleep. Aren't you, Teddy?
Yes.
Where's Daddy, Mother?
Oh, Daddy's very busy tonight, dear.
Well, will he be busy long? Oh, why couldn't we stay up till he's through?
No, Teddy. You want to be wide awake in the morning. So be good children now and cuddle down in your little bed.
What do we dream about, Mother?
Well, let's see. Let visions of sugar plums dance in your head.
Oh, Mother, I just thought of something terrible.
What?
Suppose Santa didn't get my letter about the airplane.
Oh, I imagine he got it, Teddy.
Well, when will I know?
First thing in the morning. You'll know then whether he's been here all right. Now go to sleep, both of you.
Mother, would you do me a favor?
Yes, I can, Beth.
I think I could go to sleep quicker if you played the music box lullaby. Will you, Mother?
All right, if you'll both shut your eyes tight. Good night, Sally Ann. Good night, Teddy.
Night. Start the music box.
All right.
Mildred Mouse, don't you know better than to scramble across the floor and have it squeak like that? You'll wake the children. Come back here this minute.
But I want to see.
Mildred, if you don't mind me, I'll spank you just as sure as my name is Mrs. Cordelia Mouse.
But look at all the packages and things.
Never mind that, Billy. You two children stay right here in the corner under the chair and be good little mice and mind your mother.
Say, Mother, everything's awfully quiet around here tonight.
Of course it's quiet, Billy Mouse. It has to be.
Oh, look, Billy. There's some cookies and cakes on the table. Fetch one up the table, leg, and nibble a bite or two.
Mildred Mouse. Oh, well,
you pull my whiskers.
I meant to. Those cakes are still in the box. They aren't to be opened until tomorrow. Besides, it's a tin box, and you'd both ruin your teeth.
Well, tomorrow night can we have some of them?
Yes, Billy. But right now, neither of you must stir.
Why mustn't we, Mother?
Don't you know what night this is?
No. What night is it?
Such children. Billy, suppose you ask Hickory Dock. Maybe he will tell you.
Who ever heard of a mouse asking the clock anything?
Silly child, I guess you don't remember your lesson very well. Why, the first thing you ever learned was Hickory Dock, the mouse ran up the clock.
Oh, golly, I forgot about all that.
Mother Mouse is right. Of course I'm right. And why would he do that, if not to ask Mr. Clock something? So go on, Billy. Ask him. Ask him what day this is. And why we must all keep quiet.
All right. Give me a boost, Dick. Mr. Hickory-Dickory, will you please tell us two mouse children what tonight is? And why we mustn't even move?
'Twas the night before Christmas when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse.
Oh, I see. But why are the stockings hanging up, please?
The stockings were hung by the chimney with care in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there.
Ooh. Now I guess you know, Billy. Come down, quickly.
Who is St. Nicholas, Mother Mouse? And where does he live?
Oh, well, now, that's a long story. It's longer than your great-grandfather Rat's tail.
I love long stories.
Yes, tell us, Mother. Well, will you be very quiet and promise to stay right here in the corner and listen?
Yes, Mother Mouse. Yes.
All right. Sit up nice now. Shoulders back. That's it. Mildred, Mother, curl your tail around your feet neatly. Oh, well, that's better. Now, St. Nicholas lives way up in the land of ice and snow.
What does he do?
Not so loud, Mildred Mouse. You will wake those two children.
What does he do?
All the year long, he's busy making toys and presents for all the children.
Just yourself alone?
Billy, what English? And to think that you live under the stairs of one of the most cultured families in the town.
I mean, all by himself?
Well, that's better. No, he has a whole staff of helpers. And then there's Mrs. St. Nicholas, of course, who helps him.
Why does he come to this house?
Just as soon as they get the sleigh packed, I suppose. My goodness, I'll wager they're busy up there right now. Yes, I can just hear the hammers going, the people scurrying back and forth.
Hey, give me a hammer, buddy.
Hey, you dog, baby, time to go to the sleigh.
Stangles, shut the door to the workshop. I can't hear myself sing. Oh, Stangles, you hurry up and help me get these electric trains finished, will you?
Yes, ma'am.
Santa Claus!
Yes, Mama.
You'll have to answer that phone.
All right. Hello? Hello, yes, Santa Claus headquarters. No, it isn't too late to take a few more orders. What is it, please? Yes, a little girl with brown hair and brown eyes in Denver. Yes. You want a doll? Yes. What kind of a doll? Oh, I see, with golden curls. Oh, my goodness. Wait a minute, please. Mama?
Yes?
Have we a little doll with golden curls?
Well, I think so. Where are you, Curly Top?
Here I am, Mrs. Santa.
All right, we have one.
Yes, it's all right. We have one. Now, is there anything else? Oh, a boy, 8 years old. Yes. He wants a fire engine. Well, now, just a minute. Stangles?
Yes, sir?
Have we any fire engines left?
I'll see.
Oh, my goodness, Stangles, shut it off.
All right, we have it. Both for Denver, Colorado. Yeah, sure, Santa put it in his bag right away. Goodbye.
Now, turn on the switch, Stangles, and we'll see if the electric trains work.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, they're all right. Oh, Stangles, how about that furniture for the dollhouse that goes to Kentucky, and that cowboy suit for that boy in Minnesota?
Oh, they're all packed, Mrs. Santa.
Uh-huh. Oh, my goodness, Santa, you'll have to answer that.
All right.
I've got to finish painting these sleds. Stangles, hand me that red paint.
Here you are.
Santa Claus headquarters. Hello. Yes, Santa Claus speaking. What do you want? A movie machine. Well, now, have you had good grades in school? Huh? You have, huh? You brush your teeth every morning and night? All right, the machine's yours. I'll be going down to Toronto with it pretty soon. Goodbye.
Who was that, Santa?
A little boy down in Toronto, Canada.
Oh, mercy, well, then you better put the machine near the top of the pack. You'll get to Canada first.
All right. Say, how about the hobby horse for that little Sally Ann girl? Is he ready, Spangles?
Oh, yes, sir.
Is he ready? He's been nosing in my pocket for sugar for an hour. Funky, go on in there and get packed up now. Hurry up. Well, I declare, Santa, you'll be late starting in spite of all I can do. Oh, my sakes alive, where's my order list?
Here it is, Mama.
Here's the candy and nuts for the stocking.
I'll help you put them in the pack.
Oh, Stangles.
Yes, ma'am?
Oh, how about the doll buggies? Did you ask the carpenters when they'd be ready?
Oh, yes, ma'am. They're just putting on the rubber tires now.
Well, tell them to hurry.
Oh, and Spangles,
Yes,
did
sir.
the woodcutters finish those wooden soldiers yet?
Yes, sir. They're here.
Now, wait a minute. Won't that Toy Town band go with that order?
Oh, wait now. Let me see my list. Here we are. 1 regiment of wooden soldiers and the army band to lead them. Yes, it does. Well, where is it? Where's that Toy Town band?
Here it is, Mama. Wind them up. Let's see if it works.
Yes, it's all right. Now, how about the... My goodness, Stangles, get those soldiers back in here. Why, they nearly marched right out of the door while we weren't looking.
Oh, get into the pack, you violent. Hurry up now. Come on, get in there. Oh, here's the sweaters and robes, Mr. Santa.
I'll put them in the pack, Stangles. Oh, Curly Top.
Yes, Mrs. Santa.
Better jump in there with those woolly robes so you'll be good and warm.
Oh, no, wait a minute. How's your voice? Let's hear it.
Oh, yes, for goodness sake.
On the good ship, lollipop, it's a grand trip to a candy shop.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, in you go. Oh, by the way, Mama, where's that airplane?
So which one?
Well, the one for Sally Ann's brother, Teddy.
Oh, yes. Now, where is it? I saw it here just a minute ago.
Well, maybe it's packed.
No, it isn't. I have to paint the name on it. But... Well, you hear that? It's that Roscoe Turner doll. Now, wouldn't you know it? It's at the controls again and scraping my feelings. Hey, you, Colonel, come down here. Down here this minute. The idea.
Oh, I declare, Colonel, can't keep you on the ground long enough to ask you what time it is.
Go on now, get in that pack, youngster, and the plane goes with you. Now then, we're ready. Stangles.
Yes, ma'am?
Are the reindeer hitched and ready?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
All right, then. Take the pack to the sleigh, Stangles.
Yes.
Come on, Santa, let me help you into your fur coat.
All right, Mama.
Oh, say now, will you stop laughing long enough for me to button your coat over your little round belly? You shake when you laugh like a bowl full of jelly.
All right, Mama. Spangles?
Yes, sir?
Sprinkle those reindeer with stardust so I can slip through the sky without being noticed.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, Mama. I'll see you tomorrow sometime.
Santa Claus, St. Nicholas.
Yes, Mama.
Come back here and put on your rubbers.
Oh.
You're so anxious to get to those children, you don't take a lick of care of yourself. Oh, and be careful of those chimneys when you slide down. Goodbye.
Bye, Mama.
And that, my dear little mouse children, is what happens in Santa Claus's house. Oh, my goodness, here we sat and talked, and it's 12 o'clock already.
Gee whiz, Mother Mouse. He ought to be here any minute.
What happened to them, Mother? Well, oh, listen. Listen. There he comes, there he comes. Hide way back there in the corner now, under the chair. And don't you make a sound.
Teddy? Teddy? Huh? What is it, Sally Ann? Out on the lawn, there's a terrible cloud. Spring out of your bed and see what's the matter. Run to the window, quick as a flash. Tear open the shutters and throw up the sash. Sally Ann, look. Oh, look, Sally, dear. It's a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer and a little old driver, so lively and quick.
Oh, I know, Sally Ann. That's our blessed St. Nick.
Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen. On Comet, on Cupid, on Dunder and Blitzen. To the top of the porch, to the top of the wall. Now dash away, dash away, dash away all.
Look right over the roof. He's coming down the chimney, Sally Ann. Listen. There he is.
Hello, St. Nicholas.
He's all dressed in fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes are all tarnished from ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he's got on his back. Looks like a peddler opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkle. His dimples, how merry. His cheeks are like roses. His nose like a cherry. What a droll little mouth going up to a bowl. And the beard on his chin is as white as the snow. He's so chubby and plump. A jolly old elf. I laugh just to watch him, in spite of myself. He speaks not a word. He goes right to his work. He still do all the stuffing. Now he turns with a jerk. He's laying his fingers aside of his nose. Goodbye, Santa Claus. Up the chimney he goes. He springs to his sleigh. To his team gives a whistle. And away they all go like the dawn of a thistle. Hey, Santa! Say something before you go out of sight.
Happy Christmas to all! And to all, a good night!
You have just heard the radio version of The Visit of St. Nick, adopted and produced under the direction of Malamac. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Years ago, December 21st, 1939, a dramatization of A Visit from St. Nicholas here on Classic Christmas Radio Theater. Thank you so much for tuning in. We thank this radio station. We thank their advertisers because they make it all possible. And I would welcome you to visit my webpage at classicradio.stream, where you can learn more about classic radio collecting. classicradio.stream. I'm Wyatt Cox. Thank you for tuning in. At many stations, we have another hour coming your way. If you're with us, we look forward to the pleasure of your company. If you are not with us, please accept our warmest wishes for a very Merry Christmas and a happy and prosperous 2022.